Well, one of the problems of doing landscape photography in isolation, and specifically from your balcony, is the wife hanging the washing out. So there's no way I'm going to set my tripod up today, but actually the view today I'm looking at is down here. The sun is setting and there's a lot of haze on the horizon there due to a lot of Sahara dust in the atmosphere at the moment, which is quite typical at this time of year, actually, or well, many times of the year. I'm not sure exactly when. But now, obviously for this view, because it's quite awkward, I can't use my tripod anyway. So I'm going to shoot handheld with the telephoto lens, and obviously I'm going to need a very fast shutter speed because it would be difficult to hold the camera still. But of course that doesn't really matter because I'm going to be shooting towards where the sun is setting now. You can see over there the sun is setting, and it's going to be very easy to get a fast shutter speed. Well, I apologise for the awkward angle on that video, but as you can see we've got all the laundry here, so I wasn't really able to set up a tripod to film myself taking the photos. But as you can see, it's quite a hefty camera and a hefty lens I've got there, so shooting handheld requires a good shutter speed. I managed to get 1/400th of a second just before the sun went behind the clouds, and to do that though I had to increase the ISO to 800 and set the aperture down to f11, and I find that 1/400th of a second with this setup and my ability to hold the camera as still as possible seems to work well. I try to go higher than that if I can, but that's definitely the minimum. Now the rule of thumb when shooting handheld with a telephoto lens, that your shutter speed should be equal to your focal length. So in this case, as I was trying to zoom into 400mm, I needed a minimum of 1/400th of a second shutter speed. Now I say that's a rule of thumb because it often depends on the camera and the lens that you're using. Now you can see that I've got a Canon L series 100-400 lens. It's a big lens, it's heavy. I'm also shooting with a Canon 5D Mark III, which is also a heavy camera, so this is quite a lot of weight there. And also again depends on your ability to hold this as still as possible. So for some, you may not be able to hold it that kind of weight so still. I can hold it reasonably still, and I find that 1/400th of a second, if I'm very, very careful, very steady, I can manage to get sharp pictures from it. But wherever possible, I try to increase that shutter speed up to as much as I can when shooting handheld to minimize the risk of any kind of camera shake. Okay, so hope that's been helpful. Hopefully tomorrow this laundry will be cleared away, and hopefully the weather and conditions will improve and I'll get a better shot of this view. You can't see it from here, but there are two little hills right there in the distance and the sun goes down right behind them. So I shoot this scene quite often and it's quite a good little scene. So hopefully tomorrow will produce some better results. Okay? Thanks for watching, and catch you later.